At Southern City College Birmingham, we embrace and celebrate difference and respect, recognising that prejudice and discrimination can be formed and reinforced by the language that we use. We, therefore, aim to increase awareness of the role that language plays in all aspects of our lives. As an educational institution and a responsible employer, we urge our staff, students and visitors to use language which contributes to extending equality, understanding and respect. Discrimination through language, like other forms of discrimination or harassment, is unacceptable and may also be unlawful. This video outlines how to use inclusive language to avoid biases, slang or expressions that exclude certain groups based on age, race, ethnicity, disability, gender or sexual orientation. Disability. We don't define a person or group according to their disabilities or conditions. We use language that focuses on their abilities rather than limitations. For example, we use terms such as disabled person, person with a disability, people living with cancer, people with diabetes, wheelchair user. We avoid passive victim words, for example phrases like suffers from, which suggest discomfort, constant pain and a sense of hopelessness. We avoid common phrases that may associate impairments with negative things, for example, deaf to our pleas or blind drunk. When we talk about facilities, we use the word accessible rather than disabled. Mental health. Everyone has mental health, and the ways in which we experience it are unique to each of us. We use person-centred language to reflect this sensitivity and to avoid positive or negative labelling. We do not describe people as mentally ill or defined by a condition. We say mental health conditions, mental health problems, people with anxiety, a person with depression. Age. We only use age if it is relevant, for example with initiatives that are only available for a particular age group. We do not use age as a means to describe an individual or group where it is not relevant, such as mature workforce or young and vibrant team. We actively avoid ageist terms such as elderly, OAPs, pensioners or youngsters. Race and ethnicity. Race and ethnicity are often regarded as the same thing. While there can be overlap between the two terms, it is helpful to understand the difference and how this impacts inclusive language. Race is used to describe shared physical traits, particularly skin colour and hair texture, and a shared ancestry or historical experience as a result. While race is inherent, ethnicity is more frequently chosen by the individual and linked to cultural expression. The term is used to describe shared cultural or national identity, such as a language, nationality, religious expression, and other customs. We only refer to people's race or ethnicity if it's relevant to the information we are communicating. In those cases, use the following broad rules. To describe broad ethnicity: Black, Asian, and white, rather than Caucasian. We do not use the words mixed heritage. Instead, we specify, e.g., people of African and white heritage. We actively avoid and challenge racial and ethnic slurs and any language that infers or endorses stereotypes based upon racial or ethnic associations. If we don't know, we ask. Sex and gender identity. The language around sex and gender identity is evolving constantly, and it is important to understand the difference between them. Sex is biological, male, female or intersex, and relates to genes, internal/external reproductive organs, and hormones inherited at birth. Gender can be fixed or fluid and refers to our internal sense of who we are and how we see and describe ourselves. Binary gender terms, man, woman, girl, boy, have traditional associations with sex, but we now recognise how some people identify with a gender opposite to that assigned to them as a child, and others identify neither as men nor women. We use gender-neutral terms rather than those that make sex distinction. You or they, their, them. Not he, she or him, her. Parent or guardian rather than mother or father. We consider using non-gendered titles such as MX, which is pronounced mix, rather than Mr/Mrs. Where it is not clear what, if any, gendered pronouns or nouns are appropriate for an individual, we ask and respect their wishes. Sexual orientation. When talking about sexuality, we use the term sexual orientation, not sexual preference. We mention sexuality where and when it is relevant to the context. We use LGBT+ inclusive language such as, we don't question or make assumptions about someone's gender, sexuality or relationship. Accept and respect how people define their gender and sexuality. If someone discloses that they're from one of the LGBTIQ communities, we respectfully ask what terms they use to describe themselves, and we then use those terms. Religion. We only refer to people's religion if it's relevant to the information we are communicating. In those cases, we use the following: first name, forename, or given name, not Christian name. Names of religions and religious groups taken uppercase. Groups of individuals from the same religion should be referred to as a community, such as members of the Muslim community or Jewish people. We do not assume a person's religious belief by their name or country of origin. What if I make a mistake? People may worry that they will offend or be embarrassed if they use the wrong term. It's important to try to use respectful language, and some mistakes are understandable. If you make a mistake, apologise promptly and move on. Don't dwell on it and don't give up. Keep trying to get it right. Repeated mistakes indicate a lack of respect and can be very distressing. If it continues or is deliberate, it could constitute bullying or discrimination, which is unlawful.